why you are shy on video. Today I have a video specialist, Vicki O'Neill, who will dive into video marketing. Welcome, Vicki. Thank you for taking the time to have this live video with me.
Hi, Antonio. Thanks so much for having me on your live show. It's great to be here.
You're welcome. So today, what are we speaking about in terms of video?
Well, the first thing that we're going to talk about is getting confident and actually getting on camera. So, you and I were actually having a conversation before we went live and
Mhm.
just kind of talking about how many people struggle with being on video and that being the thing that actually holds them back from creating videos for their business. And I have to confess, I was the same way when I first started out.
We all, yeah.
I think a lot of people are because it's not something that comes naturally to most of
So
us.
true.
Yes. So, and I as a child was like super shy, shy to the point that if somebody looked at me, I would cry and I would run and grab my mom's leg, like that shy. And I think over the years, with just being in sporting activities and just other activities and going to school and, just kind of communicating with people, that kind of helped me get away from my shyness. But one
Mhm.
thing that still surprises people about me is that I'm an introvert. And I think a
Okay.
lot of people think that you have to be an extrovert in order to be on camera. And
Mhm.
that's not true. Whether you're an introvert or extrovert really depends on where you get your energy. So for me to be here on camera, or if I'm recording a video, I have to really kind of think through it, get the energy. And then doing a video is actually exhausting for me. And
Mhm.
then I feel like I need to go kind of like rest and kind of think through it. Where an extrovert's like, let's do this, let's get around people, let's get excited. There's different mentalities around energy levels in order to be in front of people, which is essentially what being on camera is. And one of the things that I recommend to my clients for getting on camera is to not worry about other people. You can create videos with just your phone, which we all have,
Mhm.
and you can create a video of just yourself and not share it with a single person. And that's the
Mm.
best way to actually start getting on camera. So people think they see us, you and I, on camera, and they think this is what they have to do in order to take that first step or to get confident on camera. And it really boils down to taking the baby steps. Take out your phone, press start and just say hi. And that's all you have to do. Delete
Yeah.
it. And now you can mark that off your list of things that you've done. That marking things off and actually doing things helps create the confidence and energy that we need to take that next step, right? And you've probably experienced that as well. Whether it's something small or something big, when you get
Mhm.
something done, you feel great about it, right?
Definitely. And baby steps, as you mentioned, is the way to go about it because you don't want to procrastinate. A lot of us procrastinate and we don't take action. And that is something that is detrimental to our growth. Being an introvert or even an ambivert is awesome, but being an extrovert is not awesome. You know why? An extrovert, they they talk so much that they don't take the time to listen with their ears to understand your needs, your wants, and be able to reply. And that is a problem with extroverts because when you think about, like for me, into sales, right? It's all about listening to that customer to hear exactly what are their pain points and challenges. And then now you will give your solution or solutions going forward. So in this video space, I would say, and even in sales, because it's all about you taking the time to listen to someone and you have to be able to know what message that you are giving. So being an introvert and an ambivert in video and in sales is better than being an extrovert. Nothing against any extroverts out there, but at the end of the day, if I was not listening to you, Vicky, I could be talking out of context right now. So I have to give you the opportunity to speak. And then after, based on what you speak, I now will elaborate on that and we'll have a constant flow. So introvert, ambivert is the two best. Extrovert, well, nothing against you as I mentioned, but the too much speaking is not the right way to go about it. What are your takes on that, Vicky?
I would agree with you 100% for the
Thank you.
exact same reasons that you said. Extroverts tend to want to be the center of attention, right?
Hmm.
They want the attention on them, which sounds good when it comes to being on camera. And if you're recording your videos and then uploading them, that might be better than live streaming, right? Because if we're live streaming and you're an extrovert and I'm an introvert or omnivert, then you're going to dominate the conversation, right?
Hmm.
You're going to keep wanting people to pay attention to you. And that's not good when you're doing like a show where you're having guests on and you need to include them in the conversation. And I think that's really important, is to think of inclusion. Even if you're recording videos and just getting started, is what's the value? What's the message? And I think you had mentioned that earlier too, about the messaging and how important
Yeah.
that is in your video. And it's the same thing as content, right? So our videos is just another vehicle for sharing our message and sharing the value that we offer to our community or our target audience. It's just an easier and faster way for people to get to know, like, and trust us.
Hmm.
People can see you and I on camera. They can hear us. They can see us. They can, see our body language, like I'm, using my hands a
Yeah.
lot. We're smiling. Those are
Hmm.
things you can't get through in writing. And if you
True.
can, it takes a lot more time and effort and planning to try and figure out how you can build that emotional connection. In audio, you can get obviously what you hear
Hmm.
through better, even with your voice inflections. But video combines all of those and just makes it an overall just better experience for viewers. And that's why most people tend to watch videos more so than they'll read a blog post or listen to a podcast, especially when they're getting ready to buy something.
So true. And when we think about YouTube, we love to watch YouTube videos because at the end of the day, we want to learn. We are visual human beings. And that is something that we love nice scenery, we love the aesthetic view. And when you think about us, um, it's all about being able to build that trust, that credibility with whoever it is on video. So by us being on video, people are building that trust and credibility and saying, hey, I should reach out to Vicky in terms of video because, I'm shy, I'm timid, and I would like to find out more about how it is that I could overcome this fear. Because that is a detriment to people's success right now, Vicky, in terms of being shy. And you would want to know why it is that these people are being shy. And when it is you ask maybe even high level management staff, CEOs, directors, they are shy to come on video. And it helps some people, it's so thought provoking that they are extroverts when it is that they're speaking physically, but to be on a video, they are so shy that they don't even want to be on a video. They can't even watch that camera. Like that camera makes them feel so, like less than themselves. And what are some ways I would ask Vicky how people could alleviate that problem to become better in this virtual world that we're in right now?
Yeah, that's a great question. Like we were
Thank
talking
you.
about, there's so many people that suffer from that, right? From everybody who's just getting started and they could be, 20 years old, to a CEO that's, later in their career. And it really does boil down to, if you want to be the face of your brand, and if you're an entrepreneur, you're just getting started, you want to start your own business, people need to see you, and that needs to be part of your why. Here's why I need to be on camera. Here's why I need to create videos. Here's why I need to go live on, either my own show or be a guest on someone else's. And taking that first step a lot of times is really difficult. And the reason being is because we're not, if you think about being on camera, especially if we're doing selfies, our image is actually switched compared to what we would see if we looked in a mirror or if somebody took a picture of us. So a lot of times when people look at themselves in on a camera doing like selfie mode, it's a little bit, I don't want to say scary, but it kind of takes people back because they look different. And
Hmm.
people are like, whoa. And it kind of like, I don't want to do that because I look so different than what I thought I did. But it really just comes down to taking that step and pressing record. Now, if you're somebody who's like, well, I'm not going to be the face of my business, I don't need to be on camera, but I know I need to be creating videos, then
Hmm.
there's so many different options with not being on camera. You can either call it faceless or just, um, using like your forward facing camera.
Hmm.
So there's options that you can do that too, but and I do a combination of those to show people how you can accomplish either one effectively and still get your message across. Um, but thinking through, like if you do want to be the face of your brand, then you really need to take those steps, practice getting on camera, not necessarily writing a script so that you know what you're going to talk about, but having bullet points on what you want to cover. So
Yeah.
if you're going to start creating videos, they don't have to be, 10-minute long videos or an hour long video because of Reels and TikTok and YouTube Shorts. There's so many other options where you can just create a really short 5 or 8 second video and call it a day, right?
Hmm.
Do a real quick 3 second hook to get people's attention, do one tip based on maybe something that people ask about a lot in your business, or one tip about a new solution that you're offering, and then give them a call to action. It's super quick and it's super easy, and by doing those types of videos, then you're going to get the exposure, and having the
Hmm.
call to action there will get them to take action, whether it's following you, whether it's clicking a link, whether it's leaving a comment, whatever that action is. But just getting started is the hardest part, but
So true.
it's the most important part. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely so true. A lot of people procrastinate. They, like sometimes I reach out to some folks and I say, hey, based on the relationship that we build, communicating message after message, and I said, let's do a LinkedIn Live. They would be like, oh, not right now. I'm a bit shy. Give me a month or two. Then after 2 months, you message them again. Hey, are you ready to be on LinkedIn Live? No, I'm still shy. It's like, when are you going to be ready? When?
Yeah.
If it
They're
is
always
that
going to
you
be
are,
shy, right? Unless they do
yeah.
something. Yeah.
And then you made a valid point. If it is that you want to grow your personal brand and you don't want to go on video, but then saying that LinkedIn platform is the worst platform because you're not getting any opportunities and you want to fall off LinkedIn platform, well, then after, that's on you because you don't want to put yourself out there. How will people know you? How will people see how it is that your body mannerism, how you react in a video, how people will build that trust, that credibility, how people will want to work with you. So if you want to develop that personal brand, yes, you're on LinkedIn, yes, you're engaging in other people's posts and all these different things. But if you don't want to put yourself on camera, well, then after, my friend, you are wasting your time.
Yeah. And you hit on something key there too when you're asking somebody to go on a live with you and they're like, I'm
Hmm.
too shy. The best thing that they can do to get over that shyness, if it's not going to be creating their own videos, is to do it with somebody else. It takes
Mm,
the pressure away of being the lead in a
yeah,
show or a lead in your video when you're sharing the space with somebody else, because then not all attention's on you the entire time. So that might
correct.
be something to help with those individuals. Good morning to everybody who's joining. I see them
Marcus
popping
said,
through. Yeah,
yeah, I love the presentation. So let's give a shout out here. Joshua said hello. Uh,
action.
Marcus,
Yeah.
right
Mhm.
here. Just
I love the presentation. Awesome. Thanks for being here.
Bahu
Uh,
there said, good day. How are you? Beautiful. We are very well.
Very nice. Thank you.
Charles said, action is taken one step forward, one more rep, one more inch. Okay. All
Ooh,
right.
like that.
Love that.
Nice.
Yeah. And
On point.
Vicky, yeah, and we was even speaking pre-live that when it is that you start your live video, some people will want to introduce and want to say, how are you? Good morning. Nothing is wrong with that. But what we have to consider is that your audience, they sometimes are so busy, and to grab their attention, if you want to really do that, you have to delve into the valuable information that you are going to share on your live LinkedIn Live. And that is something where you have to create that hook, that first, what, 5, 10 seconds in order to
Mhm.
captivate people's attention. What are your thoughts on that, Vicky?
I completely agree with you, Antonio. You said
Thank
it,
you.
not do the first thing of what, welcoming everybody. It might seem like a good idea for
Hmm.
people who are attending live, but like you create these live streams that end up becoming videos that people can watch as a replay, right?
Hmm.
So you almost have to create a live stream thinking about the replay, and people don't want to wait for people to join, introducing and welcoming everybody, and 5 minutes later you're finally getting into the meat of the content. So having the hook, getting started, like what you do is like super quick introduction. And if
Hmm.
people want to know who I am, or people who are watching this on my profile want to know who you are, they can go to your profile, right? They can find out who you are that way. You don't need to spend this time, especially for people who already know who we are, like diving
Hmm.
into that information. So, yeah, definitely, just do a hook, get them, intrigued or interested in what the content's going to be, and then continue with the message.
Yes, I think that's the right approach. And video is really awesome. By doing it and being repetitive, you will become better and you will improve. So the idea is not to be perfect, because no one is perfect. But as we become repetitive and doing video, being on video, being comfortable, it will become so normal that, you know, when you watch back to when you first did your first video to where you at, you will can't believe that you progress so tremendously. And I remembered, vividly remembered, when it is that I did my first video, I was so nervous. One of the major issues that I had, Vicky, was every time that I am doing a video, I always blinking, 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 blinking. Even someone in the comment section saying, "But how it is that you are blinking so much? Are you blinking?" I was like, "Oh gosh," I felt so embarrassed. But as time go by, you become so comfortable and everything's falling in place nicely. Yes, it might be a bit of embarrassing at the beginning, but how it is that you grow. When you think about all successful people, all celebrities, they start off at the very bottom. No one start off at the top. So everything is a process, right? And Rome
Mhm.
wasn't built in a day, right? So at the end of the day, don't study about it, as you mentioned, Vicky. Baby steps. Baby steps will lead you to those big steps. And just take your time and go in your own lane. Don't study about the other person. Just know
Mhm.
that you have an objective, and your objective is to succeed.
Yes, 100%. And I think a way that each person can relate to what it takes to kind of build up to the confidence that they need to have on camera is to think of either your, favorite sporting activity. If it's baseball or football or soccer or whatever it is, and think of the players who are in that, at that level of playing. They
Hmm.
didn't go from, "Oh, I wanna be a baseball player," to an MVP in the Major League Baseball league, right? There
Hmm.
was a lot of practicing, and they had to pick up the bat the first time and put on that glove for the first time, and they weren't good at it. Nobody's good at anything when they first try it,
True.
and, I mean,
Yeah.
there's some, very few, but most of us normal people are not. And you have to kind of think through that process in video, or starting a business, or starting marketing or sales, or whatever your area of expertise is. You got to that level based on taking action first and then repetitively doing those steps to get better at what you're doing. And video is the exact same way. You're not going to get good at video unless you actually start creating videos.
Yes, so true. So true. And would like to shout out a good friend of mine, Jasmine. Love the content. Thank you, Jasmine. And Marcus says, please inbox me, Vicky, to discuss more. Definitely, Marcus. Vicky will reach out to you. And Vicky, this conversation is going very well. And I know it have a lot of people who are shy on video. That is a fact. And how people could reach out to you. Yes, they could reach out to you on LinkedIn, but is there any other form of media that they could medium that they could reach out to you by?
Yeah, they can. Well, what I'm encouraging people to do who want to get started with video is I created like an assessment or a quiz. It's actually kind of fun, which is why I call it a
Mm-hmm.
quiz. And it kind of walks them through the steps of what might be the best type of video to start creating. So it's kind of a starting point of saying what type of video creator are you? And then the next steps from that, before we even have conversations, is giving you some information about that type of video creator, tips for getting started, a guide that you can use for taking steps to move forward, and how you can actually start creating those videos. So I kind of created that as a way for people to get comfortable. Well, first identify where they should start, but then get comfortable with the process of actually creating videos. And then if they need my help in getting started with that, we can actually get started with, one-on-ones, or if they need training or whatever it is.
Okay, awesome. And
And that
Charles said,
link it's on my, or I'm sorry, the link is on my profile, or you can
mhm,
just go to vickyo'neill.com /quiz, and it'll take you there
okay,
too. Yeah.
all right, awesome. And Charles said, I'm working with a video coach, and it is really important to have another perspective. Yes, Charles, in life, always be open minded, never be close minded, because at the end of the day, Vicky could be sharing some great tips that could make you, grow exponentially. And the idea is to grow. So, definitely.
Yes.
Adana says, I like the idea of doing the video assessment first.
Yeah, it's really helpful because it just helps you identify and then take steps. And I know a lot of people aren't ready when they first want to start creating videos. They don't
Mhm.
know what conversation to actually have at that point. So this is a way to kind of ease into that process before having any conversations.
Awesome. So, people, what Vicky does, she does a video assessment to assess your needs. So, it's a personalized training session. So, it's not to say that it's something generic. Most people tend to do a generic training session that may not benefit you. So, it's personalized to you so that it can help you, the individual, grow. Because just by taking you from that comfortable zone to put you in that uncomfortable zone, it have to be a walkthrough process that you feel a bit comfortable going into it, because you don't want to be scared or pressured for anyone to put you out there. So definitely reach out to Vicky. And Vicky, I value your time, and this conversation was really informative. I learned a lot, and I'm sure the audience learned a lot also. So those who is watching, right, thank you for the time that you take out of your day to watch our LinkedIn Live. Those on the replay, type hashtag team replay so we'll know that is you on the replay. And you all have a great day. Be safe and be productive. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Antonio, for having me. It was an honor to be here with you. And thank
You're
you for
welcome
everybody for
anytime.
joining us. Appreciate it.
Awesome.